I was asked to show a speed paint of this video, but I use IBS and I used a animation thing for all the frames, so it wouldn't let me, which is stupid. So I showed all the frames of all I did. I was asked for the line art because apparently it looks like it's traced. I was rushed, so all this is like my first graph. But how I make my lines look as like solid as they do is I use different colors, like a darker version of the color I want to use for like the dress or the skin tone. For this one, I copied it and then added all of the like bruises. That way it was easier because, like I said, I was rushed. But I used, like, for the outline of her hair, I used yellow, and then for the outline of her dress, I used, you know, I think I marked on it when I was showing the lines, but it's like different color lines. And then I just filled in with the darker colors on the bottom layer. That way it wouldn't look too, you know. And then I add the details in the strokes last. That way I have the silhouette and the outline. I did have a lot of references for this cloak. My biggest reference was my sister running around in a shawl she had, and so it was like, it was there and she held it up. This one I used 2 different colors. It was mostly black and then brown, and then this one I didn't erase the detail lines like an idiot, so you can see through all this, all of the little like erasing mistakes and stuff like that. But there was a lot of problems. This one, I used a darker layer underneath, like I used a thin gray underneath the outlines, and then that way it was easier to color over it and it looked darker than it was, if that makes sense. And then for the other one, I just swapped the profile of it and just, hold on, it's about to get to it, but it's like, it's darker. And then you can see the cutoff line where it, you know, I either erased something too far and was like, I'm done. But for this one, I just like swapped it, so it's just the layer. I finished it and rotated it. This page, the page itself, I got from Google because I couldn't figure out how to do the riddle. And then I just drew the squiggles. I was very lazy for this one. And then this one, I did blue for the outline and then all the like important things. And then filled it out with the grays and whites because it was, you know. And then this one has a lot more mistakes in it on the actual lines because you can see the cutoff and you can see, but it was meant to look like faded. So that's why I would let that slide, because it's supposed to look faded and you can't even notice when the color's on it. So I was like, okay, that works. And then I used, because this was mostly a red project, I used a lot of like dark reds and browns for the actual outline, and then some of it I forgot to take like the detail lines off. So that's why it looks a bit, because you can see all the lines, and then it looks a lot better when it's covered up. But there's a like, you know, this one I'm not happy with. This frame I wasn't happy with because I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do with it. So it was there. I was like, okay, wrappers. Okay, candy wrappers. But I couldn't figure out what kind of candy wrappers, so I just did all of them, and I still wasn't happy with it because I was like, well, it looks so empty. And then the lines don't look like, it doesn't match it, you know? This one I did 2 outlines for like the skin, because for the details. This one I am kind of happy with all the like outlines itself, and then the shading and colors, because it looks, you know, darker. This one's only 2 layers. This one was easy, just outline clothes, pile of clothes. That one was pretty easy. It took the longest because of all the outlines and the details, because I'm a very important perfectionist apparently, but it's there. This one, I just took the girl and from the first frame and darkened her colors a bit, and then drew all the hands, and you can see all the you can see all of the detail lines on the fingers that I forgot to remove. So there's like a lot of mistakes because I was like really burnt out after like the first 3 frames. I was like, what do I want to do with this? But it worked, and it was there. And then this one, I'm really happy with this one. It doesn't exactly like, it looks kind of off compared to the other frames. Like, it looks completely different from the rest of the art style, but that's because I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. But I did light gray, that way it wouldn't just be black, you know, and then it matched and it looked spooky, and that's what I cared about. And as proof, because I was like, it won't, because I wanted to save the time-lapse video, that way when the video wouldn't be so long, but it won't let me, you know, it won't let me save it for some reason, so that kind of sucks, but